A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH286, Patricia and David, on what has been a very calm day. And I know you'll be all surprised, those of you who are living on the outskirts of the high at the moment. But it has been virtually flat today, but it's only 2 knots now. And it got up to 16 degrees here. It was a lovely dry walking day. 15 degrees at the moment, 2 knots of northeast, but I don't know whether that's the right direction. It just might be the fact that the tide has turned the boats northeast. 1029er and 90% cloud cover. And believe it or not, there were 3 boats left New Zealand today from the Marsden area. No New Zealanders, 2 US boats, Silhouette, Horizon, and an Australian boat. Hard to believe they're going out into this weather. Pampero, the Australian boat. But anyway, we had a report from Donella, who probably by now is tucked up in Minerva. But Donella this morning, nearing Minerva, had 4.5 metre seas. So I'm sure Christian and the boys will be very keen to have put the anchor down in North Minerva. So given that we seem to have everybody at anchor now, but I will give a call for anybody who it might be out there later on. I thought I would just give a bit of world news. There's quite a bit going on in the world at the moment, political-wise. And also, of course, there was a lot of motorsport on in the weekend. So we'll start with that just to get you back into speed with what's going on in the world. Here in, well, not here, but in France, they had today another runoff in their parliamentary vote. It's very confusing how they go about things in France, but it's quite a good way they do it. But it looks like, in fact, France will be having the youngest new Prime Minister, or whatever they call him over there, national leader. Mr. Jordan Bardella is only 28. And he is in the far-right party, and it's certainly looking as if that party is going to take control in France. Absolutely amazing how they have risen from the days when Marine Le Pen's father was in control, and they had some pretty disastrous policies, but she has certainly done a great deal to sort of bring them closer to an acceptable policy gathering, and he has certainly been a very interesting person to lead the party. He grew up in the poor and multi-ethnic Saint-Denis area, and he's doing a great job. So the youngest person, as opposed to in America, where President Joe Biden has just dug himself in. He's absolutely determined, by the sound of it, to be the man on the voting papers in November. They really are trying to get him to reconsider. I don't know why they can't just re-elect somebody else, because he's not really the official, well, I don't know what the system is over there, but he's certainly wanting to take the Democrats into the next election, which is a bit of a problem. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. Watch this space. And in the UK, of course, the new Labour government have had their first cabinet meeting, and Sir Keir Starmer there's been no real eruption over there about it, because it was such a done deal for so long. They knew that was going to happen, so they're just sort of getting on with it, and I think they were just looking for a decent change. Anyway, other things. Texas, on the weather side, Texas is bracing for tropical cyclone Beryl's arrival. It dropped off, but of course it got to a category 2, and now it's building steam again as it is about to hit Texas. So they're on all high alert over in Texas for what's going to happen there. And in Italy, Stromboli is erupting and putting on a great show for all of those boats that have come past Stromboli as we did. It is a spectacular sight, a great beacon in the night sky, but there has been quite a little bit of a show with the lava and lights at the moment, and evidently Etna has also shown a lot of activity. So they're sort of taking that with a bit of caution, and certainly tourists travelling to Sicily are probably not going to get all that close to Stromboli. Right, let's go to more interesting news. The motorsport. There was the British Grand Prix at Silverstone this last weekend, and Lewis Hamilton won. It's his 9th victory at Silverstone, and I can't remember, it's his first victory for a lot of races, so that was pretty exciting. It was a rain-interrupted race, and it was expected during the race that Lando Norris would win it, but in the last pit stop, the McLaren team made a rather large error and put on the wrong tyres, which was a bit of a bad thing to do, because he ended up in 3rd place and Max Verstappen was in 2nd. So a pretty exciting race over there at Silverstone. Supercars were in Townsville this weekend. Big long race through the streets. Pretty exciting for Townsville. 250 k's, 88 laps, and the young New Zealander, he's only 21, Matt Payne for Penrite Racing, won that one. Then came Cam Waters, Chaz Mostert, and then Jack LeBrock. For those wanting to know where was Will Brown, well, he staggered in at about 24th because David Reynolds collided with him and put him to the side of the track, and then on turn 8 he made contact with Hill, so he had a bit of catching up to do after the first lap. Okay, that's about all the news I've got. David is sitting here, but I suspect that everyone is hunkered down over there, up there should I say, and probably doesn't have too much more to talk about after he talked last night. But if there is anybody out there, he's sitting in front of his computers here. If anybody wants anything, please call now. No, absolutely nothing heard. Did you want to highlight anything? I'll pass the microphone just to make sure he's awake.
Yep, I am now. No, I'm always interested in the racing news, that's for sure. What's interesting to me, probably to some of you, when we talked about the high winds coming in contact with higher mountains or large hills, that sort of thing, and what effect that has, what effect the orographics have on that wind hitting those peaks and whatnot. Well, anyway, I'm looking at a satellite image. It's about 3 hours old. I've got a live one, but it's this one happens to be a pretty good one that I've got. Anyway, looking at Fiji, very interesting. If you look at, if you had it on your screen like I do, if you looked at Viti Levu, Vanuatu, and looked at Kendavu, the east side of all of those is got cloud building up that you couldn't believe. It's quite amazing, especially Viti Levu. You could take and cut it right in half, north to south. The east side is cloud, and the west side is clear. Now there's, yes, you say, well, it's not exactly totally clear. Well, it's not. There's a couple of cumulus clouds here and there on the west side of these places, but for the most part, for the purposes of this, it's fairly clear. The east side, though, it's a very, very interesting example of what effects these very strong winds have on places that have got peaks and hills and that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't have anything else that would be of interest. I don't think. You all know that winds are about, and they'll continue through the week. And for the most part, the clouds that are going to be around in the southwest Pacific are going to be lower level cumulus, moving very, very quickly, as you might guess, especially the ones at 850 millibar. That's about 5,000 feet. and they're moving very smartly from the southeast to the northwest. Now, up around well, I guess we could say New Caledonia, we could say probably most of Vanuatu, up at higher levels. Higher levels, we're talking about maybe between 500 and 250 millibar. That's 18,000 feet to maybe 30,000 feet. Lots of jet stream cloud, and it's moving the other way. It's going from the northwest to the southeast, and yeah, there's quite a bit of upper level activity because of that. And then to the north of the major island groups, so if you were to draw an arc through, say, Niue, Tonga, Fiji, Vanuatu, and so forth, to the north of that arc is a trough, and it runs clean across my screen. It goes all the way from the Solomons east, all the way as far east as French Polynesia, not over French Polynesia, but that far east. So yes, thunderstorms galore, lots of activity, and the reason for that is all of that strong wind that's blowing up from the southeast is striking wind from the semi-permanent high that's off to the east, well off to the east. So those winds are basically easterly to east-northeast winds, and they're slamming into the southeast winds, or I should say it's the other way around. And of course, when two air masses collide, then we have convective activity, cloud, rain, and so forth, and that's what we're seeing. So all that I'm seeing from the satellite imagery. That's my favorite part of weather, really, and it's really good if you folks that have the ability to get satellite imagery. I really encourage you to look at it frequently. You could learn so much from it. So anyway, I can't think of anything else, Chief. So I'll give it back to you.
Okay, while you were talking, I was just fiddling around on the AIS, and I see the Robert C. Siemens, an absolutely beautiful old sailing ship from America, 36 meters it is, and the picture on the AIS is absolutely magnificent. It's just with all its sails up, and that's heading down towards Tonga at the moment, not all that far away. It's at 16 degrees 47 south and 171.45 west, heading from French Polynesia, Papeete, to Tonga. And the wind up there is 26 knots at the moment from the southeast. So I guess the number of sails that they have up won't be as many as what is shown in the picture. Talking about a wind, is there anybody in Tonga or Minerva that can give us a current report? This is Gulf Harbour Radio listening. Yeah, hello Jan. Saw the report from this morning on the Hamnet. What's your wind like now? Over.
Wind now, wind is 18 knots in the southeast, southeast. It's 18, and barometer is 10.22. There's quite a few hours now.
Okay, we have about God, I can't read mine writing. 18 knots from the southeast, as reported by Narida. About how many boats can you see in Minerva, Jan? Over.
Including me, we've got Rubicon, we've got Crowley, we've got what else I've got with me? We've also just got
Oh, okay. So hopefully one of those is Donella. You're a little bit hard to hear tonight. It's not all that great a propagation. Okay, well thank you for that, Jan, and I hope you've had some success at fixing the fuel pump leak. Over.
Absolutely. Carlin of Cowley has kindly came over. He's a soldering mechanic. Very kindly came over with something is rare and unique, and his sisters sorted out his problem, added a bit of a rubber gasket, the old gasket for the zip pump, it's on. So need a piece of rubber to get the zip pump and cover it up, seal it, and it's all working fine. So I can finally begin to clear under the engine and know that I don't think I'm going to have any more leaks for the time being. Means I need to get a new zip pump gasket if I can, sent in Tonga, but that's a minor detail over.
Oh, that's really good. Oh, well done to Kari. Excellent news. It's amazing the talent that is around in Anchorage when you need something, isn't it? The yachting community is really good like that, but like the farming community. Somebody has always got some expertise and skills in some area. Okay, well that's good news, Jan, and we'll be back in touch when things look like departure for Tonga time. Okay, we'll clear with Narida. Is there any report from anywhere else? Belina. Oh, hello. And you're tucked away nicely in the Vavau area somewhere. Whereabouts exactly? Over?
Yeah, our position is 1839 south, 17400 west, and we have 80% south on the bar, 1019, and wind 20 north southeast. Over.
What was this? I just missed the knots, the southeast wind strength again, Marlene, over.
20 knots.
Oh, 20 knots. Okay, 20 knots from the southeast up there. And Belina is at 1839 17400 west, 80% cloud cover, 1019. You wouldn't happen to know the number because when we were in... Oh, sorry, I think I've doubled with you, Marlene. Say again.
No, somebody else. I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, yeah. Whereabouts is the Anchorage got a name or a number? Over.
No, Tuma Island. We are just roughly 2 miles south of Minneapolis.
Oh, got it. Okay, yep. Have a look at that.
Maybe they don't use numbers anymore.
Yeah, maybe they don't use numbers anymore. When we were there, they all had numbers because of the mooring. Everybody went by the mooring numbers. So we'll have a look at that because the names were so complicated in some of them. Okay, well, thank you for that. And 20 knots is not too bad, is it? Really?
More's coming.
Boy's coming, says David. The voice of gloom and doom here. But yep, I'm sure you've got plenty organised for inside the boat tomorrow. Thank you for that, and hi to Benno. Okay, is there anybody else wanting to join us? Oh, hello, Jonathan. It looks like you've got a fair amount of wind up there. David was just looking at the Bay of Islands before we came on air. What's it like up there? Over.
It's been a really pleasant day. Last night was very clear. Probably had 40 to 50% cloud cover most of the day in sunshine. Mainly low cloud. We're behind the 100-foot cliff, so we've got about 10 knots. But looking at the trees on the roof, the wind appears to have eased from yesterday, but I can't give you a number, will you?
Oh, roger that. Well, you wouldn't be wanting to be out there in the wind to give us an accurate number. Where you are sounds nice and protected. And nice and sunny, so that was good. Thank you for that. 40 to 50% up there in the Bay of Islands in Fiji. Okay, all right. Is there anybody else to tell us what's going on? Please call. I think that was Nomad, but quite light. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to put the preamp on and see if I can bring you out a bit. Say again. Over. Oh, it's Silhouette. Sorry about that. Yep, that came up pretty good. I don't know where you guys are. Haven't seen you on the AIS. Go ahead.
hard to understand.
Yeah, you are hard to understand, and I'm just trying to work out. Did you say that you have just left Marsden? Did I hear that correctly, over? Okay, that would explain why I'm struggling with you, because you're a bit close with 8 megahertz. Boy, you are brave people going out into this weather. Could you give me your position and what the conditions are like at the moment? Go ahead.
Okay, current position is 3538 south, 175,308 meters east. Current wind is about 10 miles out of the southeast.
Okay, we've got Silhouette at 3538 south, 17508 east with 10 knots of southeast. Well, this will be an interesting passage. Are you going to go to Fiji via Minerva, or are you Tonga this year? Over.
Final destination will be
Tonga. Okay, all right. And how many on board?
one person on board.
One person. Boy, you're going to be a busy boy. All right. Thank you for that. Well, you'll certainly have got all the weather before you took off, so we'll wait on updates for a while. So that's going to be an interesting trip, and I hope you take care to hang on well, because the seas, you heard me mention that Donella this morning near North Minerva had 4.5 metre seas, and that low is churning things up.
Hi.
Well, the low and the high, of course, clashing. So we'll be keeping a good eye on you. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Over. Okay, there's another boat that just called in. Maybe they want to make contact. Just stand by. Silhouette, go ahead, the other caller.
Info, Donella here, Christian. Did 4.5 meter sea, was it yesterday, Patricia? It was 2 days ago when we left the whole island, over.
Oh, roger that. Yeah, Gary put 4.5 meters. Maybe he struggled to copy you this morning. Yeah, we wondered about that. Oh, good. So it wasn't that bad as you entered Minerva, and hopefully you got the Formula One results for the weekend. And I hope also that you are resting up and not planning to do anything in the water until your back is improved. Over.
Yeah, and I got an open wound on the leg. And I have to stay on the water for a day or two. I know, Hamilton is still driving from the pier. Who came second and third, or?
Second was your Verstappen, and third, who actually was in the lead for quite a bit, was Lando Norris, a McLaren, and they messed up his tyres, unfortunately, so quite a bit of few strong words were said at the end. But yeah, Hamilton, Verstappen and Norris. Over.
Yeah, well, they all good. Anybody can win in this day. But Verstappen is, he actually is special. But yeah, the boys have put up there. Thanks for the info. Have a good night.
Okay, thanks, and you have a good rest up, and do be careful. You know all about open wounds and how long they take. So hopefully you've got plenty of betadine and other things to kill off anything in the air. Okay, and that goes to everybody. You know, open wounds in the islands, you really do have to take a lot of care. We have the stuff you paint on. It's an antibiotic that you paint on, but also just straight betadine spray or whatever. But you know, things like coral wounds, they're just a real problem in the atmosphere.
Fester.
They fester and develop, get into the poison gets into the blood quite quickly. So anybody that's doing a lot of windsurfing and things and is making contact with the coral or rocks or whatever and gets some open wounds, you really have to be very careful and treat them straight away. Okay, I'll stop my motherly advice and do one final call. Is there anybody else? I think that's Whitehawk. Boy, it's hard to even hear you. I'm going to again put the preamp on. Whitehawk, go ahead. I didn't see actually where you ended up after you headed off from Blue Lagoon, over. Oh, it's Waitaki. Waitaki. God, it is difficult tonight. Lots of hissing and spluttering on the band. Go ahead, Waitaki.
Yes, I'm just reconnecting up with this bit, so I thought I'd make a call, and maybe not very good transmission for the mic.
Yeah, it's sort of it's probably just slow it down a little bit when you're talking, because it is a little hard to copy, but at least you're getting out and getting to us, over.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, we're just in Big River, and yeah, south end, about 10 knots at the moment, not a weekly. Over.
Oh, that's pretty good. So yeah, tomorrow is when it's coming, so we'll wait and see what you get tomorrow. Hopefully it maybe not as bad as what the models are suggesting, but boy, that high is a pretty big one, so keep sheltered and enjoy it. Yep, we're definitely into winter here, so it's always nice to know that people are enjoying some lovely warm weather and warm water. Okay, we'll clear with Waitaki. Is there anybody else?
Yeah, thanks for that. That could be out.
Well, there was somebody there, somebody star, and I've just switched this antenna off and put the other one on in case I can get it on this one. Could you call again, over? No, I'm struggling because, and I'm going back to the other antenna. I know this sounds very complicated, but there's so much noise with this weather coming across that we do seem to be having a struggle. So just give the boat name again. I might need to call on somebody to give me a relay, but try again.
Kaya.
Oh, it's Kaya. Got it properly now. Yep. Yeah, there is just a lot of hissing. Whereabouts are you guys? I haven't heard from you for a while.
Yeah, Oyster Island on Espiritu Santo, over.
Where?
Espiritu Santo.
Okay, somewhere up in Espiritu Santo, and I was just looking at Vanuatu before to see if I could see any boats on the AIS. So we haven't actually been looking at the weather over there. What have you got at the moment, over?
Yeah, 25 knots from the southeast, 100% cloud cover with showers, over.
Well, geez, 25 knots from the southeast, 100% cloud cover and showers. Well, I take it that you are not outside getting a suntan today, but nevertheless, I'm sure it's warm. And have you been having a good time there, over?
Yes, I've been having a great time. The weather has been lovely up until yesterday, over.
Oh, good show. Yeah, we loved Vanuatu. In fact, we went back 3 times. But yeah, the people are lovely, and there's some really good spots. And yeah, in fact, the reason I was looking at the AIS in Vanuatu is we really enjoyed Havana Harbour, and then I was sort of looking at a bit further to go up there. I'm just looking to see if you're not on the AIS there. So how many moorings at Auri Island are there? How many moorings at the moment, over?
Yeah, I can't confirm, Patricia. I have some moorings there.
Oh, roger that. Okay, things are a bit different. It's been a while since we've been there.
This is why it's got rain.
Oh, this is why he's got rain. David is just showing me. Oh, it's quite a big band. It looks like you're going to be having rain for a while. So might be time to collect some water. So, all right. Well, thank you very much. It's always nice to talk to somebody in Vanuatu. So, I'm just looking at who else is there. Yep, Jams. That was the boat that's right next door to us. Okay. All right. Well, nice to talk to you. I'm not sure when this frontal band is going. It looks as if it's moving quite fast. When will it get better? Stand by.
Yeah, stand by. Let's see. It's just going to turn into showers tomorrow, I think. Just not consistent rain, but there's a lot of convective activity up there.
Yeah, David's looking and just saying it looks like it might turn into just showers tomorrow, but I'll pass the microphone.
It's hard to say because just to the north is the trough I was talking about before, where we're getting the collision of the southeast winds and then the easterlies from that high that's well off to the east. And the axis of it really goes through the Solomons and whatnot, but the edge of it, you're on the edge of it, let's put it that way, the southern edge of it. And I really can't see it changing much tomorrow. I'll take a look at Wednesday. It could very well be showers on Wednesday too, but it might be clear. But I can tell you, up around the banks in that area, it looks like thunderstorms. So whether or not that drifts south, I don't know. It logically shouldn't. That high pressure, that dome of air should keep that to the north. Let's hope that's the case. So you're really going to have to be the one that tells us what's going on. Over.
Yeah, thank you for that, David. We'll let you know how
Yeah, well, I hope it does improve. It's always nicer when it's not raining, but anyway, it keeps the place looking fresh and green, that's for sure. Okay, well, nice to talk to somebody and I hope you're both really enjoying Vanuatu, because we do. Okay, we'll clear with Kaya, and well, we keep asking, then we'll talk to all sorts of interesting people. Is there anybody else? No, nothing heard, so the frequency's available now for anybody who wants to make contact with anybody else, and we will talk to you all again tomorrow evening. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this high is just amazing, but with a bit of luck you'll all be in nice protected spots. Cheers everybody, have a good night. This is Gulf Harbour Radio Clear.